Well, I guess you could say the theme of this show is role models. I mean, Charles Barkley had a lot to say about role models. Our next guest is a role model to an entire generation of kids. She won't be old enough to be a licensed pilot for another 5 years, but it didn't stop one very determined girl from reaching for the skies.
464 inbound for landing with Bravo.
121.9,
No, you're not hearing things or seeing things. The pilot of that plane is an 11-year-old girl, and she's the youngest female to ever fly from coast to coast. Sixth grader Vicki Van Meter wasn't the least bit nervous about her historic flight.
I really don't think about it because I concentrate on the flying part. So it's when you take off, it's exciting.
Along with her flight instructor, Vicki plotted her route with overnight stops in 3 different cities, and the press was there to greet her whenever she landed.
It felt pretty good touching down. I'll be the youngest female pilot. With the headwinds, it was pretty hard.
When she finally landed in San Diego, Vicki had made history.
San Diego welcomes you, Vicki.
Suddenly she was famous. She did exactly what she had set out to do. Ladies and gentlemen, Vicki Van Meter. Nice to see you. So you're really famous. I mean, just like Charles Barkley, except you don't wear his sneakers. I mean, it's the same thing.
Well, I really don't think I'm famous.
No? Why not?
Well, because I'm just the same. I'm just the same person.
You're the same person,
Yeah.
but what about what you did?
Aren't
you proud of that?
Yeah, I'm a little proud. We didn't think it'd be, big. We just thought it'd be like a write-up in the paper. So.
Yeah. So you just thought it was just going to be in your local town, right?
Yeah, basically. And
Meadville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You thought that was as big as it was ever going to be.
Basically.
And you were on all the news shows.
Yeah.
Now you're on the talk shows. I mean, you're going to be a regular name that everybody's just going to just right off their lips. You're going to be able to say, "Oh yeah, Vicki Van Meter." You're going to be on Jeopardy. You'll probably be a question in Jeopardy. You know that? That'll be good. So how do you feel now?
Well, pretty good. It was really exciting, and it was educational, seeing like the different landforms that I've been studying.
Different landforms?
Yeah, that I've been studying in school.
Vicki, tell me about the landforms. I mean,
well,
are they the same landforms I see at 35,000 feet?
Well, we were pretty low to the ground, like 4,500, so I got to see them very closely, and I got to take pictures from my classroom.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Now, let's get the beginning here. What made you want to do this?
Well, I hopefully want to be an astronaut someday, but I really never thought about flying. We just drove up to the airport because they were adding on a new terminal building, and there was a sign-up sheet for people who just wanted to go flying for a lesson, and my dad asked me if I wanted to go, thinking, I want to be an astronaut. And
Does he fly?
He used to fly, and he used to have his own plane, but he sold it.
Okay.
So then he asked me if I wanted to go, so I said sure, so he signed me up. So then I went to my first lesson, and I liked it, so I decided to continue it.
And when did you realize that you were good enough to fly across country?
Well, it was about in May, I'd say. After I flew to my sister's graduation in North Carolina School of Performing Arts, where she goes to college, I went to her graduation, and after that we knew I could handle flying across the country, so we decided to do this.
And what was the scariest part?
I wouldn't say it was any part was scary. It was just there was a lot of turbulence between Oklahoma City and Phoenix.
Yeah.
A lot of turbulence, and we had headwinds.
Did you have one of those little bags?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you use it?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So.
Well, that's okay. I've used them too.
Okay.
Well, tell me about when you fell asleep at the stick.
I never fall asleep. It was hard staying awake. We had to wake up at 4:30 every morning, and we flew about 10 hours a day.
So you fly from 4:30 in the morning, or you got up at 4:30, like 6 in the morning,
like
until
7 in the morning.
7 in the morning to like 5 in the afternoon
Right.
every day.
Yeah, right. So,
Was it boring?
no, not really. But at some parts there was like, you had everything right, and you had your altimeter right and your heading right, and you're just sitting there waiting for something to happen.
You're 11 years old. And you're talking to me about the altimeter and the headings. I mean, what are you talking about?
Well, just how high you are. I mean, how high you have to be, and the direction you have to go. And so, like sometimes you had it there, and you were just waiting for something to happen, and then finally, like it'd get pretty like bumpy, and then you'd have to bring back.
Yeah.
So.
Did you ever get lost?
No.
No. Well, I want to know, and this whole world wants to know, what do you do for an encore? We're going to find out when we come right back with Vicki Van Meter after this. We've been talking with Vicki Van Meter. She's the 11-year-old girl who set a new world record by flying from coast to coast. And why don't you stand up, everybody? Give a hand. Jim and Corrine Van Meter, who are Vicki's parents. How about that? Now, as a mommy, I would be very nervous about all this.
Yes, but as I've said to so many people, I have confidence in my daughter's ability, and especially in her instructor, Bob Gardner's ability.
You didn't say to her when she came up with the idea, Vicki, you're nuts?
No, because I think it's important for us to support anything that our children want to do, as long as it's good. We've always been of the opinion that we will do everything to help our children.
Any doubts, Jim?
No doubts. Vicki, from the time she was a little girl, was always one for looking for an unusual challenge. This was the most unusual challenge, but we supported her all the way.
You seem very proud of you, and well, you should be. Now, Vicki, thank you, Jim. Kareem. We've got some questions for you. Yes.
Yes. My question to you is, what do you do when you're in the clouds? You fly so low that you're flying in clouds, and you don't. How can you tell if there's another plane around? Have you ever had a near miss?
Well, actually, there's an instructor in the plane, and we're going through clouds going from Meadville to Augusta, but it was because of the weather. We went IFR, and
Oh, IFR.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we all know what IFR is. What's that mean?
Instrument flight rating.
Oh, of course.
So you have to use your instruments. So we just, I mean, apparently we contact on the radio, and they had us on radar, and so they made sure, you know, we didn't hit any planes. So.
Yes.
What do your friends think of you flying?
Well, they're pretty excited. Before I left, they threw me a big
Aren't they
party.
jealous? You're the big shot.
No, actually, they're not. A couple of them said that they were before, but now they're just happy to know me, and so they threw me a big party.
Sure, celebrity rubs off. See, that's the way it is, Vicki. You went to Houston, to NASA, didn't you?
Right.
Big thrill.
Yeah, it was really exciting. I met an astronaut and a lady, Stephanie Wells, who teaches the astronauts how to fly. She
And you were in this
showed me-
simulator, right?
Yeah, I was in that's a satellite that they had me try to fix, and then I went on the space simulator to try to
Right.
land it,
And?
the first time I crashed it, but it was
You crashed,
but it was
but you don't get a second chance.
well, it was a simulator, and the first time I crashed it, but it was really close of landing it, and the second time I landed it.
So you did the second time.
Yeah,
That's
so-
great.
Well, congratulations for such a
Thanks.
wonderful feat. But I'm terrified of flying myself. How can you actually get up there and fly it?
Yeah. Give us all the I guess, give us a lesson in how to accept flying and not be afraid of it.
Well, I'm afraid of heights, and
Oh, yeah, sure, Vicki.
well, a lot of some of the pilots at the airport, they're afraid of heights, but when you're up in the plane, it's not.
What do you
don't-
think of?
You're
I
not
mean-
afraid of it, but it's neat, like seeing the different things.
Right.
Like,
So you're more involved in seeing everything and working everything, and you don't think about looking down?
right. I can sometimes, look out the window, and one time I saw my sister's boyfriend's swimming pool where he works, and so that sort of encouraged me, because it was neat just seeing the different things.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I
No
just-
time.
Right.
We'll be back right after this.
If you would like to join Maury in the studio audience, then call or write for free tickets. It's the Maury Povich Show, 221 West 26th Street, New York, New York, 10001. Or call 212-989-3622. Guests of the Maury Povich Show stay at the Lowe's New York Hotel, offering the finest in comfort, service, and value, conveniently located in the heart of Manhattan.
I mean, what's the encore here now, Vicky? I mean, what's next? I mean, you island hop to China? I mean, what do you do?
Well, I might want to do something with maybe fly across the Atlantic Ocean, but I hopefully want to do something with children's hospitals and practice my flying by flying to their hospital and then visiting the children and maybe like giving them flowers and reading them stories. So.
Well, that's great. That's terrific. We're so proud you're here, and your parents are proud of you, and you ought to be proud of yourself. It's quite a feet that you've performed, Vicki Van Meter, and good luck to you in everything you do.
Thank you.
You're going to grow up to be terrific, all right?
Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you, Vicki Van Meter. Thank you out there, everyone. Until next time, America. Tomorrow, if you're a woman or if you love a woman, this is a show you cannot miss. These stories could be your own. A new awareness tomorrow.
A promotional fee has been provided by new Centrum Junior vitamins feature Shamu and his crew. Fun new shapes bursting with fruit flavors. Centrum Junior, still more complete than any leading brand.
Remember your first games? They can be your child's first games too. Candyland, Chutes and Ladders, and Uncle Wiggily, all from Milton Bradley.